In a transfer window like no other before, where the two best players in the world have both moved on from Barcelona and Juventus, where we've seen record-breaking bids and almost £200 million bids made for certain players, the summer transfer window has been very, very interesting indeed this year. And that's also the same for Aston Villa, completing a total of 5 transfers in and a lot of transfers out. So I thought in this video we'd have a look at what transfers have come in, the transfers that have gone out, and how I think overall this window has been for Aston Villa and what we can be potentially looking forward to going ahead with this season. So if you are going to enjoy this video, obviously please leave a like, subscribe so you never miss out on new content like this. Make sure you turn that notification bell as well and get sharing with your friends on our social pages. But without further ado, let's get started. So, obviously, the summer transfer window has come and gone. It has been about 13 hours since it closed the previous day. There is a lot of business that happened. As I said, obviously, Ronaldo going to Man U, Messi going to PSG, Mbappe nearly going to Real Madrid for over 200 million, but PSG declined it, and now he's practically going to be leaving on a free, which is ridiculous. But Aston Villa have made a lot of impact in the Premier League window this season, not spending as much as 150 million with Arsenal, but still spending quite another bit of money. So first, let's look at those outgoings, and obviously there's only one place we can start. Of course, our captain, Jack Grealish, leaving Aston Villa to go to Man City, the fee for around 100 million, being the record-breaking first English player to leave for over that kind of money. Obviously, it was massively speculated every window, and I suppose now that it has happened, we finally don't have to worry about is our star player going to go, and he has gone. He's joined Manchester City to go and play Champions League football and win trophies. With this, the more it's gone, the more I'm a bit more annoyed with him, the way he's going about it. Obviously, Christian Porto came out and made the video discussing about the transfer of Jack Grealish, and he was saying that contract he signed his last contract, there was a release clause of 100 million. There was also that demand that if a club was playing in Champions League and was winning trophies, he would make a switch and consider them as their new future. And I felt that was a little bit like, well, he's kind of wanting to move for a whole season. It's a bit like, okay. I also then look at it and like, are you really a Villa fan? Did you ever really care for this club? You know, as much as I don't like him, because I think he's quite brutally a bit of a wanker. Troy Deeney, look at the way he's conducted himself about going from Watford to Birmingham. You know, he's clearly a blue nose. But the way he's gone about having that connection with the Watford fans, it felt more sincere, felt more heartfelt. With Grealish, the way he comes about it, the way he's carried himself in press conferences, the way he just feels since this move to Manchester City, he just doesn't feel like the player that we once knew at Aston Villa, player that represented us, and it's just really made me annoyed with him, the way he's gone about himself. Is he a club legend? No. Is he one of the best players we've seen at this club? Yes. But ultimately, it's time to move on, and Villa have obviously spent that money in a very lot of places. So Jack Grealish leaving to Manchester City was the big headline for Aston Villa in this window. Obviously, Wesley would go back to Club Brugge on loan for another season, trying to give him some more experience and minutes in the tank after that really brutal injury in the first Premier League season. Bjorn Engels would be leaving Aston Villa. He would go to Royal Antwerp for a fee around 5 to 7 million, a player that wasn't that bad, actually. He wasn't a bad defender. It was just obviously the Tottenham game, as we all know, pretty much just killed any chance of him. That is literally the game of Bjorn Engels. Gives away a goal, scores an equaliser, gives away the last-minute goal. It is what it is. It was just a shame there, because he was apparently really happy in Birmingham, but it's one of those moves that we had to move on. Frederick Gilbert, last night going on loan to Strasbourg, again on loan. I don't know what's happened with him. I know the stats probably don't reflect it, but the performances he put in our first season was very good. Obviously, Cash's come in and he's a much better upgrade, but you just got to wonder what has Gilbert done to not really figure in Aston Villa's team. So it's a bit of a shame there. Hopefully he can come back next season and really get that chance. Obviously, Conor Hourihane going out to Sheffield United on loan, but it's also essentially the end of Conor Hourihane at Aston Villa, because his contract's going to be expiring. I can't imagine Villa are going to be wanting to extend it, considering he doesn't play in the first team anyway. So it's a really bit disappointing there, considering how good of a player he has been for us in the Championship. But ultimately, he was one of those players that just wasn't at the quality we need for the Premier League, and there was better options out there. So it's a real shame to see him go. Obviously, a bunch of our youngsters went on loan. Kane Kessler, Louis Barry, Dominic and Sebastian Revan, and Brad Young all going out to their League or Championship teams, even trying to get a bit of experience there. I'm really interested to see some. I thought Kane Kessler would have come in through. I'd like to see Dominic Revan break through that centre-half role, perhaps next year if Tunazebe is not going to be staying. And then obviously finally some free contracts were expired. Ahmed El-Mohammadi, Neil Taylor and Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton joining Manchester United, whilst Ahmed El-Mohammadi and Neil Taylor go out on a free. So a bit of outgoings there. Obviously, as I said, Grealish probably being the big one there. So it's really a case of, well, we got the outgoings out. Who are Aston Villa going to be bringing in? And there was some very, very interesting links indeed. So let's have a look at some of those links that we were brought to with Aston Villa. Just before we break into that first few signings, I want to talk about something that was really discussed after the Newcastle game, which we went to, and something that, after watching it live, it was clear that we needed. Obviously, a midfielder was highly requested by a lot of the fans at Aston Villa. We were constantly throughout this window looking for somebody, especially in that number 10 role. You got to remember those bids for James Ward-Prowse and Emile Smith Rowe, who would end up unfortunately signing contracts with Arsenal and Southampton. Ian Taylor said it best, that we were just a pawn in the game. Essentially, they were using bids from us to get better contracts from their clubs. And especially in the case of Emile Smith Rowe, really wonder how that's going to go for you, mate. But obviously, Villa were clearly in for a midfielder. We were even linked with Anguissa from Fulham, who's now gone to Napoli on loan. Matthias Sarr from FC Metz, who's now gone to Tottenham, but he will still be at FC Metz on loan. Chieck Doucoure, and obviously Harry Winks from Tottenham. There was a lot of positions there, and a lot of links that Villa were brought into. It was the fact that we needed a defensive midfielder. And I think that was the only reason that a lot of people weren't really happy with this window, in the sense that, you know, a lot of our players, I think it was McGinn, Luis, Sanson, are like all under 6 foot. Just really surprising. The small players who don't really have that big physical, imposing defensive midfielder. You know, Luis, for as good as he can be, is also incredibly inconsistent and wasn't really that great last year. If anything, my disappointing player of the season. And Nakamba, who was actually struggling against Barrow apparently. So if you're struggling against someone in the National League there, then we've got a bit of an issue on our hands. Yeah, it's just that idea of the lack of consistency, the lack of height from those players, and the aggression. And considering we're also going to be losing Nakamba and Luis over these next few months due to commitments for their nations, you got to wonder what will Villa be doing there. There's a lot of pressure put onto the likes of Chukwuemeka and Jacob Ramsey, who, I agree with what B6 Ben actually said on Twitter. Chukwuemeka is not ready to start in the Premier League. He's 17. He's good, but he's not. It's the same with Jacob Ramsey. It's one of those people that you can't just throw in the deep and expect to be great straight away. Although Jacob Ramsey's massively improved since last season, you can show it through his game at Newcastle and against Brentford. But it's also one of those where they're young players, they need experience, and they're also not physically massive. That is something that we need at Aston Villa, and it's something that I think is a little bit disappointing, considering even Boubacar Kamara from Marseille was going for as little as 12 million, since Wolves and Newcastle trying to go for him. I'm very surprised Villa didn't go for him, but obviously I agree with that in the sense of, if it's a player that's not going to strengthen that first 11 or break through that first 11, then what's the point in signing? Which I do understand, because then it also means you can still rely on youngsters. But it's just one of those that, are those youngsters the answer now? I don't think so. I think it's one of those where we could have done with a bit of experience and someone in that midfield. But that's obviously a player for me that would have stopped this window from being in the upper echelons of great. It was just really disappointing to see them in midfield. We're going to see what's going to happen now. We've still got Sanson to come back, who's really going to be a turnaround this year. Douglas Luiz, obviously Nakamba, Chukwuemeka, really exciting talent to see play in the Premier League. Ramsey, McGinn, you know, we've got a lot of potential there and a lot of opportunities going forward. So let's have a see what those first signings were for Aston Villa. So the first transfer that broke the headlines for Aston Villa, we were in a bidding war with Arsenal for this player. He eventually joined Aston Villa after believing the ambition behind the club. He is, of course, Emiliano Buendia from Norwich City. The player joining from Norwich City for around 35 million plus 5 million add-ons. It broke our transfer record yet again. Obviously, as I said, he was in a bidding war with Arsenal. Arsenal were also really looking for this player. But he believed the ambition behind Aston Villa. He's a player that can play in the left wing, the right wing, or as we've seen him so far this season, he's played twice in that number 10 role. He was a bit better against Brentford, obviously getting a really good goal there, really cementing himself there. I just think back to the Watford game at the start of the season and how poor he looked there. So far in his time at Aston Villa, making 3 appearances and, as I said, scoring that 1 goal on the edge of the box against Brentford, a really nice goal there. Something that's really going to grow in over time to Aston Villa. And then obviously in the 2021 season with Norwich in the Championship, 15 goals, 16 assists, 122 chances created, ultimately helping them get promoted to the Premier League, but wanting to feel like the challenge that he could be given with somebody else far greater than the potential relegation battle he'd be going through with Norwich. I am happy with this play. This is obviously one of the issues I raised was the lack of depth in that winger's position. You know, we had Bertrand Traore and El Ghazi. Trezeguet had just blown his ACL, so he was out for practically a year. You know, bringing someone like Emiliano Buendia was a very good choice. He's very skillful. He can find the back of the net. And he's somebody that would really fit Aston Villa really well. Also, as I said, that versatility, being able to play that number 10 role, being able to transition over into that midfield, really giving us more options there, letting McGinn come forward as well now, whilst keeping Douglas Luiz sitting in the middle of the park, or playing out wide, helping Watkins find those goals and assists. It's really nice to see what is brought for him. What do I think he will become? I think he will be a really good player. I think ultimately at the end I will be proven wrong on him. As I said, I've been multiple times worried about because of what it was like the first time in the Premier League. But I've seen enough so far to say that, you know what, he's going to be alright. He's going to be fine at Aston Villa. We're going to take care of him. So that is our first signing of the window. Emiliano Buendia joining from Norwich City. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Emiliano Buendia. Do you think it's going to be a really breakout signing for this one? He's got to be, considering the money we paid for him. But let me know in the comments down below what you think he's going to be like Aston Villa. Now let's move over to the next nostalgic signing that returned to the club. So the next signing that broke the headlines, he was linked after being released from Inter Milan on a free. He was linked with clubs like Burnley. He was also linked with his boyhood dream club of Watford. However, in a very quick, rapid of events, he would end up coming back to Aston Villa. It's, of course, Ashley Young from Inter Milan. Now, we all know Ashley Young, obviously coming in around, I want to say 2007, 2006, and leaving in 2011 for Manchester United. He was a real good player for Aston Villa, very talented for his age. Obviously, he's a very versatile player. When he was with us, he was playing as that winger on the left. When he went to Man United, he started playing out there. How we've got transitioned into that left-back role, considering they didn't really have one after Evra left. And Luke Shaw not really being of the quality that they needed. He played out there, but he's also very versatile, can play at right back or centre-half as well. As I said, signed on a free from Inter Milan, winning the Serie A over there with Antonio Conte. Obviously winning a lot of trophies with Manchester United. It was a no-brainer for him to come back to Aston Villa. He even said it himself in his interview. As soon as he got that offer from Aston Villa, he immediately told his agent to sign away and jump on the plane there. I'm really happy with this one. It's a really smart move. Obviously, he's 36 years of age, and a lot of people may think, oh, that's a bit old. Well, actually, Dean Smith's even come out and said he's surprised at how fit and healthy he is for his age and how much of a talent he could be going forward. Obviously, that experience of having already not only been at Aston Villa, but being at Manchester United and Inter Milan. He's a player that's been around for a very long time and is a player that still can provide a lot of good for Aston Villa. He also feels that cover at left back that, you know, Neil Taylor got released there. Matty Target had an amazing season last year. Had a bit of a rocky start so far. And Ashling's obviously been taking up that position. 3 appearances so far and started 3 times. He looks very good for his age. And you just got to think, yeah, this is a smart signing. Obviously, it's a 1-year loan. I don't think it's a 1-year deal. It's a 1-year deal with the option of a further. I can see them making that decision there until they find their left-back cover. or if they're going to probably bring through one of the youngsters. But I'm really happy with Ash Young, one of my favourite players from back in the day, the Martin O'Neill era. Somebody that does bleed Aston Villa, somebody that you would say is an Aston Villa legend if you wanted to, more than Jack Grealish. And yeah, it's a really smart move, as I said, somebody that provides that cover for now in the short term, knows Aston Villa from the inside and out, really connects with the fans, and is somebody that doesn't cost pretty much any money at all. So there was our second signing of the window. Ashley Young coming back to Aston Villa for 2 more years. Could he potentially be retiring after this? Who knows? He might end up going somewhere else, but I can't imagine he will. So let's hope we can send him off with a trophy at least, because that would be nice. And that was our second signing, Ashley Young. Let's move on to a very exciting third signing for Aston Villa. So our third signing of the window, there was a very strong link with him, a very interesting contract signing. If you were awake to watch it, I was awake. Bloody hell, what a signing it was. The Jamaican sensation, Leon Bailey, joined Aston Villa. It was very, very exciting. This is a player that was signed for around 13 plus million from Bayer Leverkusen, one of the youngest, hottest prospects in German football, but also world football today. Leon Bailey is very exciting to see. Obviously, he plays on the left as a winger, but can also play on the right, and can even play that number 10 role, something that Dean Smith would like to perhaps try out for an extra game when he comes back from his injury. In 2021, scoring 39 goals in 156 games. Overall his campaign in Bundesliga somehow. But in that 2021 season, he got 15 goals and 11 assists across all competitions, which is very good. Somebody that knows the back of the net. We were even asked to go on a Liverpool's fan channel talking about Leon Bailey. Nathan did that. Because this is how popular the guy was. He was linked with the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. You know, he's a player that was so talented, and it's incredible signing. For me, the signing of the window, it's just the amount of talent that there is behind this guy. Again, filling that position and depth of the winger's role, something that we have been struggling with. We've bought somebody that with pace. Somebody with pace, somebody who's going to burst at defences, and that is what Leon Bailey's brought into, and it's incredibly exciting. I think although he only got 20 minutes against Watford, you could see what he did. They got the assist from the John McGinn goal, somebody that Watford was petrified to play against. Although he did get the hamstring injury, obviously it's somebody that we definitely want to see come back, and somebody that's desperately going to fill those boots indeed. But he's quick, he's nimble, he's going to get past defence, he's definitely going to get some assists and goals. He's someone that I'm incredibly excited that Aston Villa have brought to the team. Somebody that shows the ambition behind Dean Smith and John Lange's ambition to reach European football. And I think signings like this really stand behind that solidity of why we've got great owners and a great manager who knows what he's doing there. So that is our third signing of the window, Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. Tell me in the comments down below if you did watch the contract signing. Obviously, he came into, I believe it was in Jamaica, he signed his contract with his father, Craig Butler. And it happened, what can only be described as shed. We ended up seeing multiple of his brothers and sisters saying how one of them wanted a job as an apprentice at the Aston Villa store. It was a very weird time, but it did happen at about 2 or 3 in the morning. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you did watch that contract signing. But now let's move on to the fourth signing of the window, and perhaps the biggest shock for me of this entire window. So as I said, the number 4 for Aston Villa. Now this was shocking, dude. If you've watched our instant reaction to us signing Danny Ings, I think it says it all there. Danny Ings from Southampton coming in for £25 million. There was a smidge of a link, I think, a week or 2 prior to this signing. Obviously, Villa were sort of in the market for a striker. I always thought we didn't need one just because Wesley coming back. Holly Watkins was doing great. But clearly Dean felt that he needed to improve there. And I think when he saw the availability of Danny Ings, he thought, I instantly need to jump on this. I can instantly make something out of this. Danny Ings coming in from Southampton came completely out of the blue. Villa announcing it on the Twitter and Instagram, and I was just like, what? Because it's mental. It's still mental to think of it. Danny Ings in a Aston Villa shirt, considering the player came out and said he wants to challenge himself at that top team, play that Champions League football again. Obviously not learning from his Liverpool experience. But Danny Ings obviously coming in as his striker again, as that number 9. It's a very good signing. So far, it's proved a very good signing. Excuse me. scoring 57 goals and 15 assists and 143 appearances in the Premier League. Obviously having a worldie of a time with Southampton the past 2 seasons. Obviously, some great goals, really setting the league alight. Sorry guys. Many people think that, wow, Danny Ings, he's a very good player. For 29 years old, I'll get him on the plane. Aston Villa clearly did that. So far, he's made 3 appearances. He scored 2 goals, 1 assist as well. And obviously got that amazing overhead kick at Newcastle at home. I'm really happy with this signing. I think compared to if we was having to play Wesley there, I think Danny Ings is clearly the better option. He's somebody that knows the Premier League inside and out, clearly knows how to find the back of the net, and somebody that is instantly making me forget that we've sent out Wesley on loan, because I've got somebody here that, for his age, is massively delivering here. He knows how to find the net. He's aggressive. He works hard for the team. That's the one thing I really like about Danny Ings, is that sometimes he may lose the ball. He'll come back to the middle or the defensive side of the pitch and really try and help the team win back the ball and get the ball moving forward. It's just a case of keeping him fit, making sure he doesn't blow himself out on injuries, and I think we've got a player that's going to really bag us some goals. I'm really going to enjoy his time here. As I said, wanting to join that ambition of playing Champions League football. He's 29, he signed a 3-year deal. Will Danny Ings be here at the end of that contract, being able to say, I played in Europe or I played in Champions League? Who knows? But I'm really happy with this signing. I think it's a really smart move then from Aston Villa, really capitalising on the informed player, and somebody that I think, if he keeps going the way he is, could be on his way to being a legend even. So there's our 4th signing, the shock sign of the season for me. Forget your Ronaldo's and Messi's, forget whatever's happened. This for me is like, look, oh my word, because it completely came out of the blue. And it really shows how Aston Villa really want to keep their business on the down low, so that when people do learn of these signings, we're all very excited we are. Danny Ings to Aston Villa, our 4 signings, and let me know what you thought of him so far in Aston Villa. Do you think he's going to be bagging in 10 plus goals this season? Will he play alongside Ollie Watkins? Who knows? And let's get into that final signing of the window. And finally, Aston Villa would conclude their business with the return of a familiar face in the Aston Villa shirt, Axel Tunazebe from Manchester United. He joins on loan for the 3rd time, obviously coming in on the 2017-18 season under Steve Bruce, where we'd suddenly fail at the playoff final. Coming in yet again under Steve Bruce, but this time being managed by Dean Smith and ultimately winning the playoff final, going to Manchester United for 2 seasons before coming back to Aston Villa for another go round. This one made a lot of sense. Obviously, clearly the plan was to have Gilbert go out, Bjorn Engels to go out. We needed a bit of cover there. And Axel Tunazebe coming in, already familiar with Aston Villa and Dean Smith's style of playing and his plays as well. It made no sense to not bring in Axel Tunazebe. The only issue I had with this move, I would have liked an option to buy at the end. There might still be, because we don't actually know contract details, obviously, but I just don't see the point in bringing in this type of player for a 3rd time if we're not going to end up signing him, because he can be a really good addition for Aston Villa. He would make us better. It's just a case of whether he feel like he can play 1st team football elsewhere. But I'm really happy with this move. As I said, it's somebody that knows Aston Villa through the back of his mind. And it shows. He's captain Manchester United even, and for being 23 years of age, he's got a very long future ahead of him. He's obviously a popular defender. He'll want to push for that starting position in our first 11, but he's got to get past Mings and Konza for that to happen. He's a strong, tall defender, somebody that for his age is relatively composed, relatively calm on the ball, and makes defences feel complete, makes them feel whole because of how tall he is. That's something we could have done within that midfield, and that's actually something that a lot of people were discussing about. Could Axel Tunazebe be playing as a defensive midfielder even? No, he's not. He's natural. As people say, stick to one position, get to know that very well before you start trying to do other things. But Axel Tunazebe proving that cover there, making Aston Villa feel complete defensively, so we're ready to go into the league with Konza and Mings, and then obviously House and Tunazebe there. Again, really happy with the signing. I think it's a really smart move. Again, just would have liked an option to buy. I think it's a player that, if he's going to capitalise, if he's going to be really good for Aston Villa, somebody that we need to tie down to a contract and solidify his future at Aston Villa. And that was our final transfer of the window. You know, obviously we did bring a lot of youngsters in. Obviously Caleb Chukwuemeka is obviously probably the most notable youngster we did bring in, obviously linking up with Kearney, and it's looked really good so far, especially against Barrow. It's just I just would have liked a midfielder. I just would have liked a midfielder to come in for Aston Villa, somebody that would have helped reassure Douglas Luiz and Nakamba that we're going to push you on ball. So if we need to, we will break through and be in that first team. So I would have liked somebody there because I just don't feel like the youngsters are really the answer right now. But overall, you know, Emiliano Buendia and Leon Bailey solving those roles in those wide positions, some really exciting players there who can score goals. Danny Ings, shock signing of the season. Going to provide Ollie Watkins with some competition, but also a really nice partnership. Tunazebe and Ashley Young returning to the club, they are going to really help solidify us defensively. I'd really give this window overall an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. The midfielder I can accept if Douglas Luiz is going to come back to form, because I think ultimately it's not one of those teams. We're not a defensive team anyway, so I don't think it's something that's going to massively matter. It's just that Nakamba and the inconsistency behind Luiz. It's just something I'd say. And then obviously losing Jack Grealish shows that how much we're going to miss that type of player. But I do believe behind Aston Villa, I do believe we've got a lot of talent going forward. And we're just going to have to wait and see. I think I've seen a lot of rumours suggesting that Dean's been given 10 games. This is why staff like John Terry and Richard Kelly has been going off. You know, the owners have been a bit hesitant with the money. I don't really agree with that. I can understand the 10 games, considering I know I was saying it last season. That was understandable because of poor form. I believe in him. I do believe in him. I don't really see why you'd want to get rid of him now. He's a fan favourite. He knows somebody who's running the club very well. You've given him a year. Look what he did last season against Liverpool and that winning game run. He knows what he's doing. Just give him the backing. We'll support him. We always support him. He's the right manager for us. I stick by this. There's nobody better to fill the shoes right now of Aston Villa than Dean Smith. And I think the signings show it. It's just all down to the players in the team to get it behind them and make that push for top 10. I want top 10 this season. I want 8th place, really. It's going to be tough, though. Chelsea and Everton next. Playing Chelsea twice in the Carabao Cup. I don't mind a top 10 finish if we win a cup this year, like the Carabao or the FA Cup, because I'd like to see a trophy finally come home to Aston Villa after a very long time. But ultimately, I'm happy with this window. I'm happy that a lot of our other players have stayed, like McGinn, like Mings, like Douglas Luiz. I'm surprised El Ghazi wasn't shipped out, considering the links there. I'm really happy overall with this window. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this transfer window. Who would you have signed else? Would you have signed that defensive midfielder? Would you have filled any more positions? Would you have signed a backup goalkeeper as well, considering we're going into this season with Martinez and Jedsteer? Jedsteer finally going to get a chance to prove his worth, and I think he deserves it, considering that promotion push on that last championship season. But let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Obviously, tell us on our social pages as well, on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us there and even join in on the hashtag Villa Space. That happens every once in a while. Some very good conversations there. But without further ado, I've been Ben, up the Villa with the pride of Villa. We'll see you later.